Hey, good morning. It's October 25th, 2020. I am Planet Head, and this is Getting Blown Up in Space in EVE Online. Uh, Sorry about the last video if I haven't even looked at it yet. Um, really worn out from work from the whole week. Um, Decided to take a little bit of a break and go get some sleep, and I slept hard for the last 8 hours. Uh, just switched my work schedule and um, kind of caught me a little bit, but I'm better now. Got my coffee and got my game. um, Looks like Sundays might be a big Eve online day for me until I figure out the. I'm on my feet and on my legs all day at work, about 12-hour days. And by the end of the week, my legs are just sore and worn out, so I usually need about a half day to get them back repaired, which means I get to sit at a desk and play a video game that I like to play called EVE Online. So, looking forward to it. Some things happening today, not just in my world, but in all in EVE world. I'm out here in the middle of space. I just took out a pirate um, refuge. I'm going to be plugging through those today. I'll get to that here in a little bit. There have been some updates. Just look over here. The As far as news within Eve, there's been some updates or updates announced for Eve. It seems like we're constantly getting those now. Upgrades, not even updates, I think, in my book currently. I think of updates as whenever they change something to fix something. These seem like, in my book, if it's a good thing, it's an upgrade. Um, One of them that doesn't affect me whatsoever, but it kind of goes to what I was talking about the other day. Why don't I get something done here while I'm talking? Um, was The other day I was saying it would be kind of neat to have possibly fleets like in the real world that instead of having all of one type of ship, they have different types of ships that mingle, similar to a carrier having carriers escort destroyers, cruisers. We don't really use battleships anymore, but something like that, and to use that more in the big fleet battles. I know there's plenty of people who do small gangs in the game, but whenever you're dealing with the super carriers and the carriers and things like that, I don't see that a whole lot. And the new update that is being tested out is to convert um, some of the carriers and super carriers, I think it's super carriers, their bays inside of them to allow people, whenever they're people in their fleet that are within the local system are blown up, their clone, rather than going to another place, would resurface inside the supercarrier where they can jump into a new ship and then exit the ship and keep on fighting, which is really fantastically cool. And to do this, from what I've read so far, it's still being worked on. They're increasing the size of the ship bays um, to twice as much. Specifics are here or there. I am nowhere near getting to a supercarrier, I would love to at some point. That'd be kind of awesome. Not any kind of similar to my junky little house. I'm on a 5-year plan. Bought it 5 years ago, and the only thing good in it was it had a new furnace. Everything else has got to be gutted. So now I have this fantastic office that I will redo in 3 years, um, and a bathroom that's half done, and some landscaping and a new lawn, but everything else is still going to be done. So I look at my Eve play very similar. I'm on my 5 to 10 year plan of trying out everything, and then sooner or later I'll get to a super carrier. So, but anybody out there that has a chance of getting to those, or that's your goal, I would check that out. Um, might be interesting to you. I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of like having motherships um, in Eve. From what I understand, there used to be motherships that weren't used too much, but I like the idea of having super carriers. If you're going to call it a carrier, make it something that it is used like a carrier. So, more importantly, on my end, there is another update that's coming through. It's being tested out um, uh, in Singularity, which is the test server. It's called the Dynamic Bounty System. If you've ever ratted or killed any rats in space, which pretty much you almost have to in the game, um, you have when you kill an NPC ship pirate, um, Concord, the police of Eve, will pay you money for it. Long story short, that's the way a lot of people make their money. I make some side money off that, and people who live out in the outer reaches in Nullsec farm these every single day, very similar to mining, um, to get the bounties, and they do what are called ticks. Every 20 minutes, they count up. You'll get an update of your bounties and how many you've made, and you can judge how well your ship is doing by how much money you make every tick. Well, the big update to get to it is that they're going to a dynamic system rather than the same bounties be on ships at all times. So far that I read, they've announced three factors um, that will affect those bounties to go up or down. Um, the first one being that if there's player kills or player combat effective within the system, um, player versus player, then, and I think it is kills, um, then the bounties will go up. Secondly, if a system has been empty for a while, so it hasn't been ratted for a while, the bounties will go up. The third one being that the more ships that are killed, NPCs that are killed in the system, the bounties will slowly go down. And they didn't say over a course of a day, they said over a couple of days or a couple of weeks it will slowly go down. This is kind of interesting because it will force these large alliances and coalitions to move their ships around rather than just find one good area. A lot of things are affected to this. I think um, to dig deeper into it, the one major factor that goes on in Eve right now with NPCs, the more rats you kill, the more anomalies that might pop up. So, okay, so you're going to kill more rats to cause the anomalies jump up, but the rats don't give you as much money. So you have to balance that. I think this is overall a really good thing for Eve. I like the word dynamic. It seems like with all of the updates that they've been doing over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, they're causing the game to feel more lived in. And I'm looking forward to even more updates like this. When I say lived in, when I played a long time ago, the mining belts every day, if you look at them, they all respawn. Well, the belts themselves, they would respawn to the same size or close to the same size every day. Now, if you're constantly mining the same belts all the time, the belts don't respawn as much, so you have to let them grow again. This is similar now with the bounty system. If you're ratting them too much, they don't give you as much money. You have to let that product grow again. We're not farming, and they're going away from farming, and this is going away from Farmville and Eve versus actually a dynamic system. On another end, the new storms that are out in Eve um, that affect gameplay, that move around the systems, that also makes it dynamic in a different way. So now you're now it's like walking out of your house and going, okay, what's the weather today? Okay, it's rainy. I need to get a parka. I don't own a parka. Okay, an umbrella. I don't own an umbrella. Okay, run to the car. um, but uh, now you've got to figure out, okay, it's slippery on the road, or there's a police officer around the corner, so I can't speed right now, or is there a sale at the supermarket on fruit? I don't know. But you have to figure out all that stuff versus boot up, get in my Vexor Navy issue, fly out to a haven, set the drones out, drop the mobile tractor unit, and here's my 25 million ISK per hour. Okay, it's the next day. Boot up, get in my Vexor Navy issue. You understand what I'm saying. I like it. It goes completely toward my scavenger lifestyle of just living off the land. I don't really care about the money that I'm making off of it. So that's the two big updates. I'm sure I'll have more to say about that. I don't want to drone on because I'm not really doing anything right now. As you can tell, I'm a lot more awake this morning, hence coffee and 8 hours of sleep. Um, so I'm more interested in doing some ratting and doing some scavenging. Um, I'm currently in, let's pull her up here, uh, Placid right now. This little island section here in low sec of Placid. Um, and I'm hanging out here. I rebooted when almost fell asleep at the keyboard last night. I don't even know. I want to go back and look at it because I think I zoned out a couple times. But I got smart. I docked up before I got stupid. When I booted up today, I was in Palil. There was probably 15 ships there. Went to Dow. There's like 5. So I decided, hey, let's go into this island system, see if there's any combat anomalies that I can mess around with. And I found a nice one here in Brelly Star, which has a lot of refuges. Refuges are like your second level of anomalies that you can rat in. The big thing there is they have a lot of destroyers and frigates that I want to kill. Um, and I just wanted to drop off here and show you the ship. This is everything that I've killed so far here. Not a whole lot. I just did 2 anomalies. Let's go ahead and stack this so you can get a better view. And then here is my current fit, which is nothing. Remember, I died yesterday, or the day before. It's amazing how when you're tired you can't remember. So all I have are my 5 drones, and then I was actually 6 drones, and I found 2 medium drones that I could throw in. Then also I've been able to accumulate a few things in the last 2 anomalies that I destroyed. I did have a few parts to throw on it, but it is nowhere fitted out. I don't even have any guns on this ship. So my point being that I just blew up the anomalies. In one of the rats that I killed, I found a gun in. So it's nothing special. It's a close range electron phase cannon. So I'm just going to drop her in here. I've also been able to get some ammo for it. And I'm going to drop that in here. As I accumulate my ammo and my guns, what I want to do is update and try them out. Yeah, I could find a website and do this, but I'm much more of a learner by doing. So what I'm going to do is the hybrid weapons have different types of at the regular levels, different types of guns, and I'll just show you here. Where's my delete button? There it is, new keyboard. And we'll do a search, and then I'm going to go down here. This is the market, and I need ship equipment, and then we'll go to turrets and launchers. Hybrid turrets. Blasters are the ones, just to give you an example, we'll just go for small. If you watch me doing the Minmatar, they have projectile weapons, and they have basically 2 types: your close range and your long range, your rifles and your basically shotguns in a way. With the hybrid turrets are a little bit different. Your basic low level has 3 blasters, have 3 different types. These are your close range. You've got an electron blaster, an ion blaster, and a neutron blaster, and they all have their positives and negatives. And then they also have rail guns. So here's your blasters, and here's your rail guns. And rail guns go by the size of the barrels that you have. So what I want to do is play with them a little while get a feel for them. Yeah, I could pull up and do a comparison, left, right, left, right. I want to try them out for a little bit just by picking them up and throwing them in the ship, getting used to them, and then look up things and see what's the best fit. And am I using each one correctly? Then I'll make a video about it, hopefully within the next day or so, as I do this routing that's going on. So, but I was able to pick up, let's just go ahead and pull this off here. So right now, here's my base. I'm doing 111.8 damage per second. So let's write that down here. And over the next 3 days, 0.8 DPS per second, or at least over the next little while, because I may swing back to a minimum amount of space. That's my base right now. I want to see how adding the guns in will affect it. For damage, now there's other things that could be involved, but damage is the most important. So go ahead and drop that in here, and just dropping in one blaster has put me up to 131.9, and I've got room for 5 more. Now that's with the antimatter gun, antimatter bullets, which are the most powerful of your basic bullets. But they also have the shortest amount of range. So with this fit, I've got my drones, and if I were to go with all blasters, I'd want to close range as quickly as possible and do a major blast at them. There's also rail guns where you can stay off and pick away at them. It's a little bit safer in a destroyer because remember, destroyers don't have a whole lot of armor or shields. Alrighty, so I'm gonna exit here, and just to give you an idea, without having a whole lot of stuff on the ship, I'm gonna go out and just do one of these smaller anomalies. Then once I get the ship fitted up, I want to start doing Serpentis dens. Once I'm able to do more damage and able to tank a little bit more. Destroyers are really good for a scavenger lifestyle because you're not able to fit a lot onto them. But as long as you, especially with Gallente, where you can have your drones, as long as you've got the drones, you can do some damage. You don't have to worry about closing range, things like that. I do have an afterburner on here now so that I can do a little bit of speed tanking. If you don't have the armor or shields, you can speed tank. As soon as I get here, I'm going to go ahead and target the missile launchers and get my drones working on them. You definitely want to take out those first, because those will go away and not respawn. Now I'll worry about the other guys. My Hornets are starting to do their work. Get a little bit of transversal going on. I'm going to orbit the station here, because once these are gone, I won't keep orbiting them, obviously, if they're destroyed. But I'm not actually destroying the station, I'm just destroying the turrets. So I'll keep up a close range. As you can tell, my shield is already going down. All I have on this ship, since it's all I've found so far, is an armor repairer. So I have to be a little bit careful. I've done these sites a little bit, so and that's a cool visual. So I'm just going to keep circling, take out the second one, and that's the other nice part about doing drones is, watch this. I'm going to drink my coffee and watch my screen. Put this down, and my drones are going to target on their own. I haven't looked, Mom, no hands. Killed one. Next. All I really have to worry about is going and picking up the junk. So we'll head on over there while my drones are working. When you're doing the refugees, they do escalate a little bit. They're always a little bit different each time. But now all I want to do is check out each one of the pieces of loot that drop things and see if I can get more guns or more items. I'm looking for any type of shield protection, any type of damage dealing that I can do. First one, just some metal scraps. I still do hoard those because they don't really take up any space, and that's good for building ships down the road. And as you can tell, now that I've taken out those guns, my shield is starting to go up because these smaller frigates aren't doing much damage to me. Good. Now I've got some destroyers on the field. They'll do a little bit more damage, but as I played this before, I know that they're not going to bother me too much. I'm going to finish off this site, and then I'm going to warp into a den just to give you an idea of a site that I should not go to. um, and we'll end the video at that. I'll probably have another video later on today as I accumulate some more stuff. I do need to fly back to Minmatar space and update my ships there, maybe do some riding there. But I need to do my planetary interaction. It's a Sunday. Pick up some stuff. I don't even have to pick it up, but I do need to reset my science and my researching on my blueprints so that I have an extra slot open out here that I can start researching my Gallente blueprints. So, unfortunately, I was able to kill everything, but nothing else popped up here. I apologize. I'll probably have to do some mouthwash before my next video. As you can tell, I just woke up. So let's go ahead and now, last but not least, so I've got my refuges here. There's some other different anomalies in here, but I like to keep them basic. I'm just going to warp to a den just to show you. Now, my shield isn't all the way back up. Another thing is I'm in an Edencom system, so I am getting a bonus to my armor, some warp scramble strength, which I'm not using, and some mining, which I'm not using. But I am getting a little bit of a bonus to my armor, 10%, so that's kind of nice, since I am using an armor repairer. As we swing on in here. Some good visuals on here. I do love watching warp. One thing I miss about fleeting, this is going to sound really dumb, fleeting up with other people, is warping. Because whenever you warp... Okay, before I start talking too much, just to give you an idea here, this is a den. You'll see that I'm going to try to do it the same way that I did the other one, and it's going to fail horribly. Because these guys are more powerful. So I am concentrating my drones on the missile battery here. I'm going to swing around him. He's going to do a lot more damage to me. I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to align toward this station. I might be able to kill something. Already getting into my armor, so I've got my armor charging. I'm going to pull the drones in now. Maybe I can kill that sucker. See how my armor's already coming down. Once they started to target me, everybody started focusing. I didn't want to take any chances whatsoever. But notice, whenever I did the refuge, it got me down to about half shields. Never even had to worry about my armor. Those guys were going to really start focusing. So I called in my drones and got home real quick. The nice part about being in this system is there are some player-owned stations that I can warp to, that I can tether up to, that will automatically heal me, both in my shields and my armor. So, quick video this morning. The updates are out there. Check them out as I learn more about them, or if I learn any more, I'd like to try to get them out to you, let you know about them. And I'll try to put some more videos up as I get more items out here and try some stuff out. You guys have a great day. Fly dangerously. And looking forward to having a good weekend here. And if you have any questions, just comment to me, message me in game, or if you want me to try something out, feel free. Alrighty. Have a good one. Fly dangerously.